Enjoy Manx Radio on air and online via manxradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and via our Manx Radio apps. Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you by Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook, spectrumwindows.im or spectrumwarmroofs.im.
Faster Mind, a very good evening to you and welcome to Wednesday night at the Guild. Well, the days just get better and better. Huge variety, great talent. I've got some wonderful music to share with you tonight. Not going to waste a moment chatting, let's get on to the business of it. And we're revisiting the folk song class for the runner-up performance to start off with, because I thought just before you settle down to listen to all some serious class-winning music, let's have a good old sing-along with John Qualtrough and be ready to join in the clapping.
I've been a wild rover for many a year. I've spent all me money on whiskey and beer. And now I am homeward with gold in great store, and I never will be a wild rover no more, and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I be a wild rover. No, never, no more. I went to an alehouse I used to frequent. I told the landlady me money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me, nay. For credit like yours I can have any day, and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I be a wild rover. No, never, no more. Then I took from me pocket 10 sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. Oh, I have got whiskey and wines of the best. And what I just told ye, I told ye in jest. For it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I be a wild rover. No, never, no more. I'll go to my parents, confess what I've done, and ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And when they have kissed me, as in days of yore, I never will be a wild rover no more, and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I be a wild rover. No, never, no more.
John Qualtrough, brother of Terry Qualtrough. John joins us from Cheltenham for the Guild each year, and we're always delighted to see him and his wife Una. And now that folk song class was won by Deborah Taubman. We heard her singing on this programme last night. But I just thought that particularly you would like to hear the choir of the Royal Hall in the Villa Marina just in the background there. It's one of those songs where you just simply have to sing along, don't you? Right, now let's move along to classes in the Royal Hall last night. And goodness me, when I had finished this programme last night, I went back to the Villa Marina. Competitions were still going on in the Royal Hall, and everybody had had such a good night, such a variety of music and some real quality performances, and you're going to hear some of them now. We began the evening in the Royal Hall last night with the girls' solo. This is for 16 to 18-year-olds. And it was a set song from the musical that is 64 years old this month, and that's My Fair Lady, wonderful creation by Lerner and Lowe. And it was the song Show Me that was selected from that as the test piece. The accompanist is Jill Collins, and this is the winning performance from Erin Loach. And for this performance, Erin took first place with 90 marks.
First from him, now from you. Is that all you blighters can do? Don't talk of stars burning above. If you're in love, show me. Tell me no dreams filled with desire. If you're on fire, show me. Here we are together in the middle of the night. Don't talk of spring, just hold me tight. Anyone who's ever been in love will tell you that this is no time for a chat. Haven't your lips longed for my touch? Don't say how much. Show me, show me. Don't talk of love lasting through time. Make me no undying vow. Show me now. Sing me no song, read me no rhyme. Don't waste my time. Show me. Don't talk of June, don't talk of fall. Don't talk at all. Show me. Never do I ever want to hear another word. There isn't one I haven't heard. Here we are together in what ought to be a dream. Say one more word and I'll scream. Haven't your arms hungered for mine? Please don't explain. Show me, show me. Don't wait until wrinkles and lines pop out all over my brow. Show me now.
Wasn't that terrific? Excellent singing there from Erin Loach to take a win with 90 marks in the girls' solo class. And I just have to make a special mention there of accompanist Jill Collins. There were an awful lot of notes in that, weren't there? And they all came along very fast. Brilliant playing there from accompanist Jill Collins. Now, you know, if you've ever listened to any of my Guild coverage before, you know that I tend to try to make a variety of things for you to listen to. I will sometimes revisit classes that from earlier in the week and bring you winning performances just to make some variety. And this is what we're going to do now. We're actually going to go back to the brass instrumental classes in the Promenade Suite on Saturday, the way we began the Guild. And I've got a winning performance here for you to play for you. But first, I have a word of apology because the lady who's going to play for you now, her name is Estelle Oke. And when I gave the marks out earlier in my coverage, Estelle, I pronounced your surname incorrectly. Your father dropped me a little email to tell me I'd done that, and I'm very sorry. So Estelle Oke is going to play for you now. Now, Estelle won the instrumental solo class for 12 and 13-year-olds, and she chose a beautiful piece for the E-flat horn and took a first place with 88 marks. This is Estelle Oke. Some lovely class winning playing there from Estelle Oke, winner of the instrumental solo class for 12 and 13-year-olds. The piece was Demelza, and Estelle's accompanist was the wonderful Julian Power, who plays for all the instrumental soloists and does it magnificently, and with absolutely no fuss at all. A very reassuring presence for all of us. Now, let's go back to some vocal performances, and for this one we are going last night, back into the Royal Hall last night, and we just heard Erin singing for us there. Now that class, the girls' solo, was followed by popular song for anything from 1930 to the present was the period that the singers could choose from, and this is aimed at our younger singers from 14 to 18 years old. The accompanist once again is Jill Collins, and the winner of the class with 91 marks is Jasmine Colligon, who's having a very, very good guild. Jasmine singing so well. Her choice of song is Alone, and now enjoy a first-rate performance from class winner Jasmine Colligon.
Ticking of the clock, I'm lying here, the room's pitch dark. I wonder where you are tonight, no answer on the telephone. And the night goes by so very slow. Oh, I hope that it won't end though. Alone. Till now, I always got by on my own. I never really cared until I met you. And now it chills me to the how do I get you alone? How do I get you alone? You don't know how long I have wanted to touch your lips and hold you tight. You don't know how long I have waited, and I was going to tell you tonight. But the secret is still my own, and my love for you is still unknown. Alone.
And that went down very, very well with the audience in the Royal Hall last night. A class-winning performance there for Jasmine Colligon. Now, I have to go a little bit carefully on the accompanist on this because it isn't compulsory to use the official accompanist. The official accompanist is there if the singer would like that. But I think in this class it is possible to choose your own accompanist, so it might not be Jill Collins. This is a difficulty. I still haven't managed to find a way of getting around it because, of course, I can't be in the hall myself all the time, much as I would like to be, as you would imagine. But we piece together, as long as I know who the singers are, we try and put in the rest of the jigsaw if we possibly can. Now, talking of piecing together jigsaws, we know who will be competing for the Cleveland Medal Test on Friday night, the highest honour that the Guild can offer to our adult singers for the best adult voice in the Guild this year. Of course, we've got the Sheffield Plate, the equivalent for young singers, and we'll be talking about that again. But we now know who's competing. A different way of qualifying, slightly different way of qualifying this year to reflect the top performances. Now, you will be familiar with the 6 different voice types, 3 for women, 3 for the men, and the previous way of that sopranos would all sing, tenors would all sing, basses would sing, and the winner of each of those voice types would go forward to compete for the Cleveland Medal. Well, the slight difference this year is that each group is being looked at individually, so the 3 women's voice types are being looked at, and the highest scores, the highest marks in those classes will go through to the Cleveland Medal. So that means that you won't necessarily you might get one singer from each of the voice types, but as has happened this year, that's not so. We are having 2 sopranos and a mezzo, and the same applies to the men when they sing. The 3 voice types will sing, and the 3 highest marks will go forward to compete for the Cleveland Medal. And so, again, we haven't got all the voice types represented for the men. We have a baritone and 2 basses. So, in the Cleveland Medal final on Friday night, we will have Karen Elliott and Ruth Tickle, sopranos, Linda Corkish, mezzo, Matthew Quinn, the baritone, Paul Costain, bass, and Terry Qualtrough, bass. So those will be, it'll be a fight of the champions, won't it? Not that it isn't always, it is. It's always very, very high quality singing. But again, we're promised a great competition, some terrific music, and who will take the medal home? Well, we will find out on Friday. But ahead of that, I'm going to give you the opportunity over tonight and tomorrow night to listen to those qualifiers. And so you can just listen to them singing, and you're quite welcome to form your own judgment and see who you think will be taking home that Cleveland Medal, because the music that they've sang to qualify will be what they will be singing again in competition on Friday night. Of course, the essential difference is that they will be judged by a different adjudicator, and their previous performance this week will have nothing to do, have no bearing on the way they're judged on Friday night. That is a completely separate and fresh competition. Matthew Quinn, I think, is singing exceptionally well this year, and we're going to listen to part of his performance that earned him a place in the Cleveland Medal final. That's what we're going to hear right now.
Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you by Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook, spectrumwindows.im or spectrumwarmroofs.im.
Now, Matthew Quinn won the special baritone solo class. His accompanist is Graham Kirkland, and he had there was some choice within the category, and we're going to listen now as Matthew Quinn sings for us on Lavender Pond by Michael Head. This is Matthew Quinn.
A swallow wets his wing in Lavender Pond from spring to spring. Never a lily pure and chill holds a cup for the dews to fill. Never a willow gnarled and hoar bends its boughs to a reedy shore. Never a fragrant flower spike blows there. Never a lordly kingstaff grows there. Slender and straight were sedges shiver, and glistening mayflies glance and quiver in lavender pond by land and river. But the Baltic parks they come and go, with their old pump windmills turning slow, and the tall Cape Horners rest and ride like stately swans on a murky tide. And the ocean tramps all red and rusted, worn and weathered and salt encrusted, gather the cluster near and far, derrick and funnel, mast and spar, from many a port of old renown, and lonely wharf where the booms float down to Lavender Pond by London town. And keen and strong is the wind that comes to the dingy streets of the Deptford slums. Strong and keen with the scent it steals of tied-up acres of calmadeers. And the gulls go flying, the gulls go crying, and the winds sob, and the waters sighing, croon to the ships an old sea ditty in Lavender Pond by London City. Never a swallow wets its wing in Lavender Pond from spring to spring. Never a lily pure and chill holds a cup for the dews to fill in Lavender Pond by London River.
Matthew Quinn and a beautiful Michael Head song on Lavender Pond. And the adjudicator at the weekend was talking about the music of Michael Head and Vaughan Williams, and he said, whenever you hear one of their songs, no matter what the content is, he said there's just something about that way that it is constructed that he said you can't help but visualise a lovely country scene. And I think that's quite true, isn't it, really? But certainly Matthew put that one over beautifully. And the way that the programmes were composed, there's quite a lot of own choice for the special solo classes. And the singers can choose any song by Bach or Handel, any song by Fauré, Debussy or Chausson, or any song by Dring, Head or Vaughan Williams. But they can't take two from one category. You know, the two songs that they sing must be from different categories. But quite a bit of choice there. And of course, because there's a wide choice, it gives a nice amount of variety, as we're going to hear next, because Ruth Tickle has earned a place in the Cleveland Medal final, and she has picked this from Handel, which is one of those pieces that really doesn't need any introduction because it is such a familiar one. It's from Handel's Messiah. This is Ruth Tickle. I know that my Redeemer liveth, the voice of Ruth Tickle, as she qualifies for the Cleveland Medal Test on Friday night, and Ruth was accompanied by Jill Collins. Now, let's have something a little bit different. And this young lady who is going to play the harp for us now has been a faithful supporter of the Guild for many years since she was very small. She's a very, very skilled harpist. She studies with Rachel Hare, and it is Lucy Gilmore. And Lucy won her class in the Royal Hall this morning, and this is for plucked strings for grade 6 and above. Like the piano classes, it's not by age but by grade, and here's Lucy is quite definitely grade 6 and above. She played 2 lovely pieces. It's an own choice class with a time limit, and it's a balanced programme. That's all that the musician has to do, provide a balanced programme. And Lucy chose 2 beautiful pieces, and this is the first of them. This is a class-winning performance from Lucy Gilmore. A winning performance there from Lucy Gilmore, and she's playing the Lever Harp, and we'll have more from Lucy possibly in tomorrow night's show. Let's see how much variety we can get in for you now. We must catch up on some results in a moment, but let me play you some more music. And we're going back to the Royal Hall last night for the competition that ended the evening there, and this was the popular song for adults. And the period that you could choose your material from was 1921 to 1979. Any song written in that period, and the way they describe it in the programme, it says written between those years for immediate appeal, but which has become part of the long-term repertoire of popular music and jazz, obviously excluding songs specified for other classes. Only one accompanying instrument allowed, but the singers could choose whatever, if they wanted a guitar or something like that as opposed to a piano, they're welcome to do that. Now, Kay Harker is somebody else who has competed for many a year in the Guild. She has got a lovely voice. She always delights us with her choices. But there was a bit of bravery in her performance last night because she chose a particular song. It's a song you'll know very well when you hear it. And she was advised by a few people very close to her that she was singing it too slowly and that she ought to speed it up a little bit. But Kay, who is a very experienced person in music matters herself, she stuck to her guns. And it was the way she delivered the song that endeared her to the adjudicator, Robert Marsh, because he said that she sang the song as though she really believed, as though she felt the words, as though what was happening in the song was really happening to her. And that was why he gave her 91 marks, and Kay Harker won the popular song class last night. And this is the song that she chose.
Why does the sun go on shining? Why does the sea rush to shore? Don't they know it's the end of the world? 'Cause you don't love me anymore. Why do the birds go on singing? Why do the stars glow above? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when I lost your love. I wake up in the morning and I wonder how everything is the same as it was. I can't understand, no, I can't understand how life goes on the way it does. Why does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye. Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye.
You could understand exactly what the adjudicator meant, couldn't you, when you listened to that? She did sound as though it was really happening to her. Very emotional performance from Kay Harker. Lovely voice. And that was how Kay took the first place in the popular song class with 91 marks. Now, something else that I'd just like to make a little mention about. We have the Cleveland Medal for the Best Adult Voice. We have the Sheffield Plate for the Best Young Voice. And from this year onwards, we are going to have an award that I think is going to become the equivalent for the spoken word. And the Guild have been given a wonderful trophy in memory of Mrs. Pat Corrin, a lady who it would be impossible to count how many people she has schooled in public speaking and in drama, and the confidence and the ability that she has given to so many people, and her huge commitment to the Guild over many, many years. So we now have the Pat Corrin Memorial Trophy, not given for an individual class, but given for the top 2 marks in 3 different spoken word classes that will cover 12 to 18-year-olds, because we have 3 classes, one that covers 12 to 13-year-olds, the next one 14 to 15s, and then another class for 16 to 18s. And these are poetry classes. There are a couple of poems for all the competitors to choose from. And so the top 2 in each of those classes are going to go forward to compete later in the week for the Pat Corrin Memorial Trophy. And I think that this will become the Cleveland equivalent for the spoken word. And I can tell you now that the 6 people who are going to be competing for the Pat Corrin Memorial Trophy are Daisy Quinn and Madeline Harrison, Roviana Setu, Jason Miranda, Joseph Long and Faye Pendlebury. All very, very skilled in spoken word. And I'm sure that's going to be a beautiful competition, really lovely one to listen to, because the poems that have been chosen this year are all they give a lot of scope for the skill of the person who is reciting them. So there, I think we have a fitting memorial to a very special lady who's given so much to the Guild. And I do think that this will become the Cleveland Medal equivalent for spoken word. Now, somebody else who gives a lot to the Guild is Olivia Black. And she's Mrs. Olivia Landels now. And despite the fact that she gave birth to the wonderful Lionel just about 4 months ago, she was back at the Guild supporting her students. But the first to admit that she's been very grateful for her help from her colleagues to keep Sing up to its very high standard whilst she's been busy looking after Lionel. But it was lovely to see her back and competing last night as she was in St Thomas's Church. And Olivia took part in the vocal solo by British composer class, and she took a very convincing first place. Her choice was a Roger Quilter song, Love's Philosophy. Accompanied by Patricia Cullen, this is Olivia Landels.
The fountains mingle with the river, and the rivers with the ocean. The winds of heaven mix forever with a sweet emotion. Nothing in the world is single, all things by a law divine, in one another's being mingled. Why not I with thine, not I with thine? See the mountains kiss high heaven, and the waves clasp one another. No sister flower would be forgiven if it disdained its brother. And the sunlight clasps the earth, and the moonbeams kiss the sea. What are all these kissings worth? If thou kiss not me.
That was Olivia Landels, accompanied by Patricia Cullen, and that was the winning song in the vocal solo by a British composer. The class before that was a foreign language art song, and that was won by Sarah Shimmin, who took a first place there with 88 marks. Congratulations, Sarah. Once again, Sarah's accompanist there, Patricia Cullen. And we finished the evening in St Thomas's Church with another win for, in fact, a first and a second for the 2 people who are going to be fighting it out, in the best possible sense of the word, for the Cleveland Medal on Friday night, and that's Ruth Tickle and Karen Elliott. Ruth took first place with I Am in Need of Music, and Karen came second with a very amusing song. Well, it's very amusing considering what Karen does as a profession. She chose Leonard Bernstein's I Hate Music. It's only quite short. We might well have time to play that for you a little bit later in the programme. But what we're going to do now is hear from Terry Qualtrough, because Terry has qualified for his place, as I was mentioning earlier, because of the new qualification terms. 2 basses are going through to sing for the Cleveland Medal. Wonderful Paul Costain and the equally wonderful Terry Qualtrough. And he chose a song that, considering I know that he and his wife Jill have got a both beautiful little dog, a new addition to the family, lovely little dachshund, tiny little thing. She's gorgeous. So the fact that Terry would choose for one of his pieces A Dog's Life, I thought was quite amusing. Now, he's accompanied by Gareth Moore, and I have to say that Gareth, who loves being an official accompanist, does say that accompanying in the specials class with these big songs, big singers, he did say that he did feel quite nervous. Not just nervous of wanting to give his best for these great singers. Well, we know Gareth always does, like all our official accompanists, always does deliver his best. Here we are, Terry Qualtrough singing A Dog's Life. He's accompanied by Gareth Moore.
A sailor's life's a dog's life, and that's the truth, says Bill. A sailor's life's a dog's life. Look at it how you will. You break your back with working for half a coolie's pay. And a sailor's life's a dog's life. Look at it how you may. There's mates to kick and daze you, and it doesn't hit 'em back. There's cold to freeze your innards, and there's heaters burns you black. There's junk as tough as green art, and weevils in the bread, and fist in frozen canvas till you're wishing you were dead. But you bet I'm going to quit it next time I jump ashore. As soon as I strike old Frisco, you won't see me no more. I'll set a course westward to an island as I know, where we laid once load in copra, might be 20 year ago. There where the sun is good and old, and I won't need no more trousers when I've wore out them I've got, with a gunny round my middle and a soul to call my own. I wouldn't change my fortune for the king's upon his throne. But when we finished loading and sailing day came round, with the pilot boat alongside and the mud hook off the ground, and the towboat cast the hawser off and left us with a cheer, why, there'd be Bill a-growling as he'd done for many a year. Oh, a sailor's life's a dog's life, and that's a fact, my son. His pay's no more than coolies, his work is never done. But you bet I'm going to quit it first chances comes my way, for a sailor's life's a dog's life. Look at it how you may.
He's in top form, isn't he? Terence Qualtrough, and one of the two bass voices that are going through, Terry and Paul, going through to the Cleveland final on Friday night, and he was accompanied there by Gareth Moore. Just a little update of where we are with the qualifiers for the contenders, I should say, for the Sheffield Plate, the highest honour that the Guild gives to the young voices. Now, we've got Isaac Kreisky and Lucy Morris, and they're joined by Ethan Wiley, Anna Tamarova and Kendra Metcalf. So congratulations to all of them on winning their solo voice classes, which has earned them the place in the Sheffield Plate final. There are 3 more places to be filled, and 2 of them will be filled with competition winners tomorrow morning. And then the final place, there'll be 2 girls solos tomorrow morning, school years 7 and 8 and school years 9 and 10. So those places will be decided by competition tomorrow morning. And then on Friday, the boys treble solo for years 7 to 9. That space will be filled by the winner of that class. And then we'll have a splendid competition for the Sheffield Plate on Friday night. But back now to our music, and this one I've chosen to play a second place for. You heard Kay Harker, winner of the popular song, I should say, and Isaac Jagus took a second place. He chose a Buddy Greco song that will be familiar to many of us of a certain age. This is Isaac Jagus.
You're walking along the streets or at a party, or else you're at home and then you suddenly dig. You're looking in someone's eyes, you suddenly realize this must be the start of something big. There's no controlling the unrolling of your fate, my friend. Who knows what's written in the magic book? But when a lover you discover at the gate, my friend, invite him in without a second look. You're up in an aeroplane or dining at Sardi's, or else you're in Malibu, alone on the sand. You suddenly hear a bell, then right away you can tell this must be the start of something grand. You're doing your income tax, buying a toothbrush, or hurrying home because the hour is late. Then suddenly there you go, the very next thing you know, this must be the start of something big. Your destined lover you'll discover in a frightening flash, so keep your heart awake both night and day, because the meeting may be fleeting as a lightning flash, and you don't want to let her slip away. You're watching the sun come up and counting your money, or else in a dim cafe and drinking some wine. You want to be where she is, and suddenly there she is. This must be the start of something. This must be the start of something. This could be the start of something great.
I think it could be the start of a very promising career for Isaac Jagus, and that was a win in the popular song class. A second place in the popular song class for a very gifted singer. Let's have that funny little song from Karen Elliott. It was her second place, as I say, in the class where Ruth took the first place, but again, they'll be going forward for that Cleveland medal. This was the art song, and the one that I think, was it an appropriate choice for Karen Elliott? I Hate Music?
I hate music, but I like to sing. La-dee-da-da-dee, la-dee-da-dee. But that's not music, not what I call music. No, sir. Music is a lot of men in a lot of tales, making lots of noise like a lot of females. Music is a lot of folk in a great dark hall where they really don't want to be at all, with a lot of chairs and a lot of airs and a lot of furs and diamonds. Music is silly. I hate music, but I like to sing. La-dee-da-da-dee,
dee da dee. La dee da
Karen Elliott's choice of American art song. She took a second place to Ruth Tickle's first there.
Manx Radio's coverage of the Manx Music Festival is brought to you by Spectrum Windows. Find them on Facebook, spectrumwindows.im or spectrumwarmroofs.im.
And we are almost out of time. Stay tuned for Andy Wint with your Wednesday night late show. Thank you very much for your company, and I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 with another selection of winning performances and news from that day at the Guild. I'll also pop into Mandate at around about 5 to 8 with an update on tonight's adventures in the Promenade and in the Royal Hall. From me, Judith Lay, playing out with a little bit of harp music from Lucy Gilmore. I wish you a very good night. Evi.